Hello, I'm Stephen Missick, and we just came out of the primary, and we had a decisive outcome, and it was that the incumbent, Ernest Bailes, was decisively defeated in San Jacinto, Liberty, and Hardin County. And we had a clear winner. Unfortunately, it wasn't me, even though I feel like I played, well, no, I played an important role in defeating Ernest Bailes between Holt and I, 60% against Ernest Bailes, actually a little more than 60%. And honestly, Ernest Bailes has brought this on himself by working against the interests of the people of HD 18 and actually by introducing legislation which he knew would harm the people that live in this district and allowing some corrupt so-called land developers to damage the environment, pollute our waters, and allow crime to fester in this area, endangering us and impairing us all, and allow innocent people to be victimized. So he has this good old boy system, and people vote for him. It's really incredible. There are people that know he's corrupt and know he's dishonest, and they want to vote for him anyway because they know his mama and things like that, and he's a good old boy. It's crazy. And when I was campaigning, this person said, you can't defeat Ernest Bailes. He's just too popular. Well, he was wrong. We did defeat Ernest Bailes. And I've really enjoyed campaigning this time. I encourage you to go back and watch the debates. I feel like I won all the debates and the panel meetings. I felt like I performed well and give everyone an idea who I am, what I believe, what I want to do, how I want to serve the people, how I want to advance conservatism. But near the end of this race, it got very, very ugly, especially with mail-outs. Just vicious attacks against Ernest Bailes and against Janice Holt. They're just going back and forth with each other. It's really kind of disgusting. I understand it's necessary. It's necessary because we need change desperately. But one of the things that happened, and he started attacking me, Bailes did, Holt was like campaigning against me indirectly on policies, because my strong points were the border security issue, since I worked on the border for 3 years, and with my military experience, which neither one of them has, and also I'm the MAGA candidate, so they were able to make some phone calls, and the Border Patrol agency, whatever, gave her the endorsement, and then Trump, in the end, just the last few days, endorsed her, and that probably helped her get over the finish line. So, but the attack against me was somebody was vandalizing Ernest Bailes' signs, putting on spray paint "liar," and Ernest Bailes was accusing me of doing it, and I didn't do it. And my response to that is, well, people supporting Ernest Bailes destroyed or damaged or vandalized probably 20 of my smaller signs and 4 large signs. And those signs are like $125. That's how much I pay for these large 4x4 signs, those specific ones. And so he cost me probably $1,000, maybe around more like $800. People associated with Bailes' campaign vandalized, destroying, stealing my signs. So when it's not right to vandalize people's signs. I don't support that. I don't encourage that. I don't endorse that. And it wasn't just me. I was talking to Dr. Wolf, and he's going against this cabal of Bailes supporters too. And somebody destroyed a lot of his signs as well. So this is something that happens, and I think that when you put signs up, you're gonna have to realize that that's gonna happen. Unfortunately, it shouldn't happen, but it does. And Bailes had a lot of signs up, and some people thought, well, I think Bailes is going to win because there's all these signs up, but it didn't help him this time. So the issue is that near the end of the election, when it got close to election time, Ernest Bailes posted a photograph from like a game camera showing somebody vandalizing his sign, and he was saying that it's me. So I was able to find the place where this happened because it shows the area across the street. So I was able to drive around And it's like, okay, this is it. I was looking at across the street from a gated area, and there it was. So this is the place where the game camera was. And it wasn't me. I wasn't there. And there's also, so I know where the place is. It's in Shepherd. So you can see behind me this building, which is in the picture, which this is the location of the tagging of the sign. But I wasn't here on the date and time. I was out of town, so it couldn't have been me because I wasn't here to do that. So this picture was taken in Shepherd, and I wasn't in Shepherd on that day. If the date and time on that photograph is correct, I wasn't in Shepherd. And then the other thing is the photograph is really grainy. And he's saying that's me, but I don't think you could define who that person is or identify that person at all because the picture is too grainy. So whoever you can't really make much of anything out, but it's not me. It's not me. Also, there's a car in one of the pictures. It's not my car, and people that know me know that I always have my German Shepherd Baron with me. So if I was out doing this or doing anything, and I park my car, more likely than not, Baron the dog would be right beside me in the photograph. So that's not me. Where's Baron? That's not my car. And I was not in Shepherd at that day or time. I was out of town. I wasn't in Shepherd that day at all. So now I'm sorry that someone tagged Ernest Bailes' signs, but that person wasn't me, and whoever did it was not encouraged by me to do it, wasn't asked by me to do it. They did it on their own. And you got to think that maybe people are seeing these mail outs. Maybe people are engaging with the media, and they're outraged by what Ernest Bailes is doing. I'm going to close with this. I think it's kind of funny. I was meeting with some other pastors, and we're talking about Colony Ridge, and he says, I was at this meeting, and Ernest Bailes and State Senator Robert Nichols were at this meeting, and they were saying, we need Colony Ridge. Colony Ridge is going to be good for our community. We have to get behind and support Colony Ridge. And a lot of, city leaders were there at this meeting. So here you had Ernest Bailes publicly advocating for Colony Ridge in this meeting. And this other pastor said, yeah, I heard him endorse it. I heard him say that we need to support Colony Ridge. I was at this meeting, he said, in front of dozens of people. And I was at this, I would, at the Lumberton debate, I mentioned how we were having a Ministerial Alliance meeting. Bailes showed up, and he says, I know you have concerns about what's going on in Plum Grove, referring to Colony Ridge, but I want you to know that this isn't going away. In fact, we made it legal in Austin, and it's here to stay. You're just going to have to accept it. That's what he said. And when I brought that up to Liberty, this is the Lumberton debate, he called me a liar in front of everybody. It's like, what do you? And I was shocked he said that, and I didn't know what he did to make it legal until Ken Paxton did the investigation and realized he released the information. This is House Bill 4341 that Ernest Bailes introduced surreptitiously. He entered it in local and uncontested affairs, so it wouldn't be brought up for debate, and it would be passed without his constituents, the general public, knowing what he was doing, because it is against the best interest, the intents, and the will and the desires. It's legislation that would harm our community, and he passed it anyway. And this is interesting. If you watch the debate, the interview I had with Hank Vatt, I said in jest, I said, well, maybe the Harris brothers just brought this legislation to Ernest Bailes and said, here it is. And I thought, I was saying that, but I was kind of it was a little tongue in cheek. But then that's what happened. Trey Harris gave HB 4341 to Ernest Bailes for him to pass, which he did with only slight modifications, so-called restrictions, which are never enforced. So Trey Harris was given free rein to do whatever he wants to do in Colony Ridge. And now the Attorney General is finally taking action, and hopefully we'll see what happens. It's interesting to see Ernest Bailes' dishonesty about his involvement in Colony Ridge, but he's been dishonest about a lot in his tenure as state representative. Basically, in running as a conservative Republican, but legislating as a liberal Democrat, which is what he really is. So now at this primary, the Republican voters of HD 18 have voted for someone who more aligns closely to the tenets and policy priorities of the Republican Party and leans more towards conservatism than Ernest Bailes does. But maybe we'll get somebody who's a true conservative champion in office soon. You know, I don't intend to run again, but there's a lot of people concerned about Holt not following through and coming through for the people. So we'll see what happens. We need to hold our elected officials accountable the way we held Ernest Bailes accountable. But last, let's not vandalize or damage people's property. I saw what happened, and I didn't do it. I didn't encourage it, and it wasn't me. So thank you, and God bless you.